My ex-husband's family showed up at my doorstep on a rainy Thursday afternoon in Portland, Oregon, with umbrellas dripping on my welcome mat and impatience dripping from their faces. I had just gotten home from work, still wearing my bookstore apron, when the doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. When I opened the door and saw Madonna, my former mother-in-law, her husband, Charles, and my ex-husband's sister, Maria, I froze like I'd stepped onto the wrong version of my own life. It had been almost 2 years since my divorce from Ethan Parker, 2 years since I packed a single suitcase, moved from Seattle to Portland, and rebuilt my existence from scratch. 2 years since I promised myself that the Parkers were closed chapter, a heavy, painful chapter with pages torn at the edges, but apparently, they didn't get the memo. "May we come in?" Donna asked, looking me up and down like I was a disappointing entitled copyright she regretted ordering. "No," I said automatically. "Whatever the size of broken bar, just say it here." Charles cleared his throat. He had always been the quiet one, but the way he stared at me now made the hair on my arms rise. "We're here for our grandchildren." I blinked. "You're a broken bar, what?" "Our grandchildren," Donna repeated, slower this time, like I was stupid. "We want to see them." My heart thudded once, painfully. "Donna, we never had any children." She crossed her arms. "Maybe you didn't tell us." "But you had them." "What?" "No, I wasn't pregnant when I left. I've never been pregnant." "Not with Ethan." "Not ever." Mary looked down at her shoes, guilt written all over her face. Donna leaned closer. "Then where are they?" "Where are who?" I asked, voice rising. "There were never any kids." "Ethan told us everything," Donna said. "He told us you were pregnant with twins when you left him, that you ran off, blocked his number, and refused to let us be part of their lives." The world swayed beneath me. "Twins?" I whispered. "He said twins." Charles stepped forward, rain sliding off his jacket. "We want them. We want to know they're safe. We want them in our family." "There are no children," I shouted. "He lied to you." Donna's lips pressed into a razor-thin line. "You have 1 week to bring them to us, or we'll take legal action." "What legal action?" I demanded. "You'll find out," she said, turning sharply. The three of them left, leaving my front door open, my carpet wet, and my entire reality shaken. After closing the door, I leaned my forehead against it and tried to breathe. Why would Ethan say something so outrageous? The last conversation we'd had during the divorce was a dry, lawyer-filled exchange. Nothing emotional, nothing dramatic, nothing about pregnancies. Was he drunk, delusional, trying to manipulate them into pity? Or was something darker going on? I considered calling him, but I didn't have his number anymore. Not after I changed mine, blocked him everywhere, and removed every trace of the Parkers from my phone. My therapist had called it an act of liberation. Now I wished I'd kept just one thread. For the next couple of days, I tried to convince myself the whole thing was a bizarre misunderstanding. I focused on my job at the independent bookstore, shelving new arrivals and recommending novels to college students. I drank too much coffee. I cleaned my apartment twice. But then things got worse. On Monday, I noticed a man following me. At first I thought he was just another commuter waiting for the Max Light Trail. But when I got off in downtown Portland, he got off too. When I ducked into Powell's Books on Burnside to shake the uneasy feeling, he followed. I turned down aisles at random fiction, travel, cookbooks, and each time I spotted him at the end of another row, pretending to browse. The next day, he was outside my apartment building, leaning against a motorcycle with a matte black helmet covering his face. He didn't move when I walked past, didn't speak, just watched. By the third day, panic was coiling in my stomach. So when I came home Thursday evening and found an envelope slipped under my door, I already knew it wasn't good. Inside was a single sheet of paper. 3 days left. No more lies. I sat down on the floor, heart hammering in my ribs. This wasn't just harassment. It was a countdown. I needed answers, and the only person who could give them to me was the man I swore I'd never see again. So Saturday morning, I drove 3 hours north to Seattle. Rain spattered against my windshield the entire way, as if Washington was trying to warn me. Ethan still lived in the same place, a modern condo near Lake Union with floor-to-ceiling windows and a view of the water. Everything about him had always been sleek, polished, expensive. My hands shook as I rang the doorbell. When he opened the door, I barely recognized him. Ethan Parker had always been handsome in a cold, corporate way, but the man in front of me looked older, thinner, hair disheveled, dark bags under his eyes. His blue t-shirt was wrinkled and stained with coffee. His once bright eyes looked hollowed out. "Emily," he said softly. "You a broken bar you came." "I need answers," I said firmly. "Did you tell your parents I had twins?" He swallowed. His Adam's apple bobbed. "Come inside." I hesitated, but stepped in. The living room was a mess of papers everywhere, empty takeout containers, an open bottle of whiskey on the counter. "What happened to you?" I asked before I could stop myself. He laughed bitterly. "Life." "Answer the question." He rubbed his face. "I didn't mean for any of this to happen." "That's not an answer." He paced the room, running a hand through his messy hair. "When you left a broken bar, my family blamed me. They said I drove you away. They said I ruined everything." "You did," I said bluntly. He flinched. "You told them I was pregnant." I pressed. "Why?" "I didn't mean for them to believe it," he muttered. "I was drunk. I told my mom I wished we'd had kids. She asked why we didn't. I told her I didn't know. Then she said maybe you'd been planning to leave for a long time. So I said maybe you were pregnant and didn't tell me." My stomach twisted. "You suggested it." His eyes filled with guilt. They kept asking questions. "Yeah, broken bar. I didn't stop them from assuming." "Assuming what?" "That I gave birth to your twins and hid them." "Yes," he whispered. "Why?" "Because he broken bar because it made them stop blaming me. It made them feel like you were the villain, not me." I stared at him. The ache in my chest was sharp, familiar. Ethan had always been like this, caring more about how he looked than what was true. "I didn't think they'd go looking for you," he whispered. I thought of the motorcycle man, the note, the threats. "Well, they did," I said. "And they think I'm hiding their imaginary grandchildren." He sank onto the couch, burying his face in his hands. "I'm sorry." "I don't care about sorry," I snapped. "Tell them the truth." I tried. "What do you mean?" He looked up, eyes shining with fear. "My mom doesn't believe me now." "What?" "She says she knows I'm lying again, that she has proof." "Proof of what?" I demanded. He hesitated too long. "Ethan," I said, stepping closer, voice trembling. "What did they find?" He swallowed hard. "An ultrasound." I blinked. "What ultrasound?" "The one I found in your drawer 4 years ago." My breath hitched. "I've never had an ultrasound." "It had her name on it," he whispered. "That's impossible." I didn't think anything of it then. I assumed it was just a general checkup or something. But when I tried to convince my mom you'd never been pregnant, she said she still had the ultrasound and that it proved everything. "Where did she get it?" "From my house." "She must have taken it when she was helping me pack during the divorce." My mind raced. "Show me." He went into his bedroom and returned with a folder. Inside was a printed ultrasound, blurry and grainy, but there was a name typed neatly on the corner, Emily Parker, and below Ita, 12 weeks gestation. My heart stopped. "That's not mine," I whispered. "I know," Ethan said. "Someone faked this." "I know. And your mother thinks that you got pregnant," he finished softly, "and hid the babies." "We need to tell her it's fake," I said. "I did." She refused to believe me. His voice cracked. "She said I was covering for you. She said she would do whatever it took to find her grandchildren." Everything clicked into place. The stalking, the threats, the family at my door, the countdown. "Ethan," I whispered, throat dry, "what do you mean whatever it took?" He looked up, fear written across his face. "I think my family hired someone to find them. He said, "To find you." And they won't stop. My knees went weak. "You have to go to the police," I said. He nodded slowly. "I will, I promise," but he didn't look convincing. I left his condo terrified, realizing something chilling. If the Parkers were unhinged enough to stalk me, threaten me, and forge medical records of broken bar, what would they do next? That night, I didn't sleep, not just because of fear, but because of the knock on my door at 3 a.m. Not the doorbell, not gentle, a loud, heavy, intentional knock. I crept toward the peephole with shaking hands. Outside, illuminated by the dim hallway light, a broken bar. A broken bar was the motorcycle man, helmet off, staring directly at my door. "Smiling, continue,"